My parents saved $120,000 for my college fund. Then they spent it all on my sister's wedding and expected me to take out loans. 18 years of "this is for your education" became "your sister deserves her dream wedding" in one conversation. My name is Brandon Foster. I'm 26 years old. When I was born, my parents started a college fund for me. Every birthday, they'd add money. Every Christmas, every graduation, every milestone. "This is for your future," they'd say. "For college, for your education. We're investing in you." By the time I turned 18, there was $120,000 in that account. $120,000. 18 years of savings. Enough for 4 years at a good university with money left over. I'd seen the statements, knew exactly how much was there, planned my future around it. Then my sister Melissa got engaged. And 2 weeks before I started college, my parents sat me down and told me the money was gone. All of it, $120,000, spent on Melissa's wedding. "You'll need to take out student loans," my dad said. "It's normal. Everyone does it." Everyone does it, because their parents steal their college fund for their sister's wedding. I graduated 4 years later with $95,000 in student loan debt. Melissa's marriage lasted 3 years. Then she got divorced. Now, 8 years after stealing my future, my parents want me to help pay for their retirement home. "Family helps family," they said. I said no. This is the story of having your future stolen for someone else's party, then being called selfish when you refuse to fund the people who betrayed you. I'm the younger child. Melissa is 4 years older. Growing up, the dynamic was clear. Melissa was the princess. I was the afterthought. She got dance lessons, piano lessons, art classes, whatever she wanted. I got hand-me-downs and told to be grateful. "Melissa needs these opportunities," Mom would say. "She's so talented." I played soccer, on town league, with donated equipment, because boys don't need expensive activities. But I wasn't resentful. Not really. That's just how it was. The one thing that was supposed to be mine was the college fund. My parents made a big deal about it. Started it the day I was born. "We learned from our mistakes with Melissa," Dad told me when I was old enough to understand. "We didn't save for her college. She had to take out loans. We're not making that mistake with you." They showed me the account when I was 12. Explained how it worked. "See, every month we put money in. It grows with interest. By the time you're 18, you'll have enough for 4 years of college. Maybe more." "What about Melissa? Does she have one too?" "Melissa is already in college, taking out loans. We're helping her when we can. But you'll be set. You won't have debt like she does." Felt special, like they'd learned, like I was getting something Melissa didn't have. Every birthday, they'd make a show of it. "Happy birthday, Brandon. Here's your gift. And we're putting $500 in your college fund." Every Christmas, every good report card, every achievement. "Great job on your grades. That's going in the college fund." It became a thing. The college fund. My future. My security. I checked the statements when they came. Watched the balance grow. By 8th grade, $45,000. By 10th grade, $70,000. By senior year, $110,000. I did the math constantly, where I could go, what I could study, how much freedom that money would give me. I could go to a good state school and have money left over, or a private university if I got scholarships, or graduate school. The possibilities felt endless. My friends were stressed about college costs, worried about loans, about debt. I was lucky, privileged. My parents had planned ahead. Melissa graduated from college when I was 14. She had $60,000 in student loan debt. She struggled with payments, complained constantly about the burden. I'll be paying these loans until I'm 40, she'd say at family dinners. My parents would nod sympathetically, sometimes help with a payment. We wish we'd saved for you like we're doing for Brandon, Mom would say. And Melissa would look at me, not quite resentful, but aware of the difference. When I was 17, Melissa started dating Trevor. Successful guy, finance, made good money. They got serious fast, moved in together, talked about marriage. The family loved Trevor. Finally, Melissa found a good one. When I was 18, spring of my senior year, Melissa announced her engagement. Family dinner. Everyone was there. She showed off the ring. Everyone cheered. We're thinking of fall wedding, she said. Next year. Give us time to plan. Where? Mom asked. We're thinking Napa Valley. Vineyard wedding. Maybe 150 guests. Something elegant. Napa Valley. Vineyard. Elegant. Translation. Expensive. That sounds beautiful, Mom said. We'll help however we can. I was happy for Melissa. Genuinely. She seemed excited. And I was focused on my own future. College acceptance letters were coming in. I got into UC Boulder. Good school. $30,000 a year for out-of-state tuition. 4 years would cost $120,000 total. Perfect. I had exactly that much in my college fund. I also got into University of Colorado, Denver. In-state tuition. $12,000 a year. 4 years would be $48,000. And Colorado State. Similar cost. Options. I had options. I chose Boulder. Better program for computer science. Better campus. Better opportunities. Worth the cost. And I could afford it, thanks to 18 years of saving. I accepted the offer in April. Orientation was in August. Classes started in September. I was set. Future planned. Path clear. Then Melissa's wedding planning kicked into high gear. She and Trevor started looking at venues, sending photos in the family group chat. Every venue was more expensive than the last. $30,000 venue rental, $20,000 for catering, $10,000 for flowers. The budget kept growing. Trevor's parents were contributing $30,000. That's all we can do. Melissa and Trevor had saved $30,000 together. That left a $90,000 gap for the wedding Melissa wanted. She asked my parents for help. We'll do what we can, Dad said. I didn't think much of it. Figured they'd give her $10,000 or $20,000. Help but not cover everything. It was July, 2 months before college. I was working a summer job, saving money for books and expenses. My parents called a family meeting. Just me and them. Melissa wasn't there. We sat in the living room. They both looked uncomfortable. We need to talk about college, Dad said. Okay, I'm all set. Boulder. Orientation next month. Right? About that. He exchanged a look with Mom. My stomach dropped. We've had to make some difficult decisions this year, Mom said. What kind of decisions? Your sister's wedding is important. It's a major family milestone. We want to support her. Okay. The wedding budget is significant, more than we anticipated, and we've committed to helping make her day special. I started to understand, started to panic. We've had to reallocate some resources, Dad said. What does that mean? The college fund. We needed to use it. For Melissa's wedding. The room went silent. I couldn't process what I was hearing. Use it? Like borrow from it? No. Use it. We've withdrawn the money. It's gone. Gone? All of it. Most of it. There's about $3,000 left. For your books and first semester expenses. $3,000. Out of $120,000. You spent my college fund on Melissa's wedding? We didn't spend all of it on the wedding, Some went to other expenses. But yes, the majority went to helping your sister. How much? They looked at each other again. How much of my college fund went to Melissa's wedding? About $85,000, Mom said quietly. $85,000. Of my money. For one day. That was for college. For my education. You've been saving it for 18 years. We know. And we're sorry. But family is important. Melissa's happiness is important. What about my happiness? My future? You'll still go to college, Dad said. You'll just take out student loans. Like Melissa did. Like millions of students do. It's normal. It's normal because their parents didn't save $120,000 and then steal it. We didn't steal anything, Dad said sharply. That money was in our account. We had the right to use it as we saw fit. You told me it was mine. For 18 years. Every birthday, every Christmas. This is for your future, Brandon. You made me believe. Plans change. Life happens. We had to make a choice. Your sister's wedding or your college fund. We chose family. I'm family. You know what we mean. Melissa needed this. Her wedding is a once-in-a-lifetime event. And my education? That's not important. Of course it is. That's why you'll still go. You'll take out loans. Work part-time. Like most students. I stood up. Shaking. I got into CU Denver. In-state. $48,000 for 4 years. There was $120,000 in that fund. I could have gone to Boulder and had money left over. Now you're telling me there's $3,000. We're telling you that you need to adjust your plans. CU Denver is a fine school. That's not the point. Then what is the point? Mom asked. We've supported you your whole life. Fed you. Housed you. Paid for everything. Now we're asking you to be flexible. To support your sister's happiness. By stealing my future? By contributing to the family. Everyone sacrifices. That's what families do. I couldn't believe this. Couldn't process it. Does Melissa know? They looked uncomfortable again. Does Melissa know you're spending my college fund on her wedding? She knows we're contributing significantly, Mom said. Does she know where the money is coming from? That's not her concern. We're your parents. We make financial decisions for this family. I'm 18. That money was supposed to be mine. And when you're 18, living on your own, you can make your own financial decisions. Until then, we decide. I was 18, technically an adult, but still living at home, still dependent, powerless. You've destroyed my future for one party. We've helped your sister start her marriage on the right foot. That's important. More important than my education? Different kinds of important. You'll understand when you're older. I left, went to my room, sat there in shock. 18 years, $120,000, gone. I called the financial aid office at Boulder the next day. Explained the situation. My college fund disappeared. Needed to know my options. You can take out federal student loans. Up to $5,500 for your first year. Then private loans for the rest. I did the math. 4 years at Boulder. $120,000 total cost. Federal loans would cover maybe $25,000. I'd need $95,000 in private loans. Plus interest. I'd graduate owing over $100,000. Or I could go to CU Denver. In-state. $48,000 total. Federal loans. $25,000. Private loans. $23,000. Total debt. $48,000. Plus interest. I'd graduate owing about $60,000. I switched to CU Denver. Smaller school. Commuter campus. Not the experience I wanted. But half the debt. Melissa's wedding was in October. I was 2 months into freshman year. I didn't want to go. Didn't want to watch $85,000 of my future get spent in one day. But I had to. Family obligation. Missing it would cause more drama than I could handle. The wedding was absurd. Vineyard in Napa Valley. 150 guests. Destination wedding. I had to pay for my own flight, my own hotel, $800 out of my summer job savings. Money I needed for textbooks, for food, for survival. But if I didn't go, I'd be the villain. Brandon couldn't even support his sister on her special day. So I went, smiled, played the role of supportive brother. The venue was stunning. Rolling hills, grapevines, perfect golden California sunset. Everything was excessive, every detail over the top. I arrived the day before. Rehearsal dinner at an expensive restaurant. Melissa was glowing, showing off her dress to the bridesmaids, talking about every detail. The flowers are all imported from Holland. The florist said they're the best quality. We're having a 7-course meal. The chef is from a Michelin star restaurant. The band played at a celebrity wedding last year. They're amazing. Every sentence was another $1,000 of my college fund. Trevor's parents were there. Nice people, wealthy. Didn't understand why my parents were stretching so much. "You're doing too much," Trevor's dad said to my father. "It's just one day. It's our daughter's wedding. We want it to be perfect." Perfect. At my expense. The wedding day was beautiful. Perfect weather. Ceremony at sunset. Melissa looked stunning. I'll give her that. The $8,000 dress was objectively beautiful. She walked down the aisle crying happy tears. Trevor cried. Mom cried. Everyone cried. I sat in my seat and did math in my head. Ceremony venue. $10,000 just for the space for 2 hours. Chairs with white covers and ribbons. $15 each. 150 chairs. $2,250. The flower arch Melissa walked under. $5,000. The rose petals scattered on the ground. $300. The string quartet playing. $2,000 for 1 hour. Everything was excessive. Ice sculpture at the reception. $2,000. Melted by midnight. Centerpieces with imported flowers and crystal vases. $300 each. 20 tables. $6,000. Open bar. Premium liquor. $50 per person. $7,500. 7-course meal. $180 per person. $27,000. Wedding cake. 5 tiers. Decorated with edible gold. $3,000. Live band. 8 pieces. $12,000. Photography and videography. 2 photographers, 2 videographers, drone shots. $15,000. Party favors. Custom wine bottles with Melissa and Trevor's names. $30 each. $4,500. I sat at a table with cousins. Watched the celebration. Watched my future burn. The speeches were touching. Trevor's dad talked about love. My dad talked about family. We're so proud of Melissa. We wanted to give her the wedding of her dreams. Whatever it took. Because that's what you do for family. Whatever it took. Including stealing from your son. Melissa gave a speech. Thanked everyone. Thanked Mom and Dad for making this possible. I know this wasn't easy. I know it was a sacrifice. But you gave me the most beautiful day of my life. I'll never forget this. She won't forget. And neither will I. For very different reasons. During the reception, Mom came up to me. Champagne in hand. Makeup perfect. Dress expensive. "Isn't this beautiful?" Melissa looked so happy. "It's nice. Worth it, right? To see your sister this happy? To give her this memory? Worth $120,000? Worth my entire college fund? Worth my future debt?" "Sure, Mom." "Brandon, I know you're upset about the college fund. But look at this. This is what that money created. memories, family joy, perfect day. That's more valuable than anything. More valuable than my education. More valuable than my future without debt. More valuable than the 14 years of loan payments I'd be making. This day matters more than 4 years of college? Don't be dramatic. You're still going to college. With debt, massive debt, that I shouldn't have. Lots of people have student loans. You'll be fine. Lots of people's parents don't steal their college funds for their siblings' party. Her face hardened. Watch your tone. This is your sister's wedding. Don't ruin it. I'm not ruining anything. I'm just here, watching $120,000 get spent in one day. You need to let this go. What's done is done. Easy for you to say. You're not the one who'll be paying for this for the next 14 years. I excused myself, went outside, sat in the vineyard among the grapevines. The sun was setting. The vineyard was beautiful. I could see why Melissa chose this. But all I could see was the cost, the waste, the selfishness. My sister's friend found me, drunk, friendly, wearing a bridesmaid dress that probably cost $400. You're Melissa's brother, right? Brandon. Yeah. This wedding is insane. Most amazing wedding I've ever been to. Must have cost a fortune. Yeah. My wedding cost $15,000 and I thought that was expensive. Still paying it off. But this is like $150,000 easy. Maybe more. Probably more. Your parents must be loaded. Or Melissa and Trevor saved forever. I laughed. Bitter. Cold. Not loaded. Just generous with other people's futures. She looked confused. Drunk and confused. What? Nothing. Enjoy the wedding. She wandered off. Back to the party. Back to the celebration of my stolen future. I sat there until the reception ended. Watched them cut the $3,000 cake. Watched the first dance to the $12,000 band. Watched sparklers light up as they left. $500 worth of sparklers. For 60 seconds of photos. I flew home the next day. Couldn't afford to stay for the post-wedding brunch. Back to Denver. Back to my dorm. Back to my 2 jobs and crushing course load. Back to the reality my parents created when they chose Melissa's party over my future. The venue was stunning. Rolling hills, grapevines, sunset ceremony. Everything was excessive. Ice sculpture, open bar, 7-course meal, live band. Melissa wore a designer dress, $8,000, wore it for 6 hours. The flowers alone cost $15,000. Dead the next day. I sat at a table with cousins, watched the celebration, did the math. Venue $30,000. Catering $25,000. Flowers $15,000. Dress $8,000. Photography $10,000. Band $12,000. Cake $3,000. Decorations $5,000. $108,000. Plus the destination bachelor and bachelorette parties. Plus invitations. Plus favors. Probably $120,000 total. My entire college fund. For this. During the reception, Mom came up to me, champagne in hand. Isn't this beautiful? Melissa looks so happy. It's nice. Worth it, right? To see your sister this happy. I didn't answer. Brandon, I know you're upset about the college fund. But look at this. This is what that money created. Memories. Family joy. That's more valuable than anything. More valuable than my education. More valuable than my future. I excused myself. Went outside. Sat in the vineyard. My sister's friend found me. Drunk. Friendly. You're Melissa's brother, right? Yeah. This wedding is insane. Must have cost a fortune. Yeah. My wedding cost $15,000. Still paying it off. But this This is like $150,000 easy. Probably. Her parents must be loaded. I laughed. Bitter. Not loaded. Just generous with other people's futures. She looked confused. I didn't explain. I flew home the next day. Back to Denver. Back to school. Back to reality. I worked 2 jobs through college. Campus bookstore during the day. Restaurant on weekends. The bookstore job was Monday through Friday. 20 hours a week. $12 an hour. I'd work the morning shift before classes. 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. Then rush to lectures. Restocking shelves. Helping students find textbooks. Operating the register. The manager, Carol, was kind. Understood I was juggling school and work. Take your breaks. Don't burn yourself out. But I couldn't take breaks. Every hour mattered. Every dollar counted. $12 an hour. 20 hours a week. $240 a week. Maybe $900 a month after taxes. The restaurant job was Friday and Saturday nights. Sometimes Sunday brunch. Serving tables at a mid-range Italian place near campus. The money was better. Tips. On a good night, I'd make $150. Bad night, $60. Average maybe $100 a night. 3 shifts a week. $1,200 a month. Combined with the bookstore, I was making about $2,100 a month. Sounds like decent money for a college student. Except my expenses were crushing. Tuition at CU Denver, $12,000 a year. Divided into 2 semesters, $6,000 per semester. I was taking out federal loans for $5,500 a year. That left $6,500 I had to cover myself or through private loans. I tried to pay what I could from my earnings, usually managed $2,000 a semester. The rest, $4,500 a year, went on private loans. Adding up, compounding. Then there was rent. I lived in a cheap apartment with 3 roommates, $500 a month. Food. I ate cheap. Ramen, rice, pasta. $200 a month if I was careful. Transportation. I took the bus. $90 a month for a pass. Books. Used when possible. Still $400 a semester. $800 a year. Phone. $50 a month. Health insurance through school. $150 a month. The math. $2,100 income. $1,990 in expenses. $110 left over. $110 a month for everything else. Clothes. Emergencies. Life. I had no buffer. No savings. 1 unexpected expense and I was taking on more debt. Studied between shifts. Late at night after the restaurant closed. Early mornings before the bookstore opened. My friends went to parties. I was highlighting textbooks in the campus library at 1 a.m. They went to football games. I was serving tables to drunk fans celebrating. They talked about spring break trips. I worked double shifts during break weeks. Come out tonight, they'd say. Just one night. Have fun. I can't. I have a shift. You always have a shift. I always had a shift, because I always needed money. Sophomore year I got sick. Bad flu. Missed a week of classes. Lost a week of income. That week cost me $500 in lost wages. Had to take out an emergency $300 loan from the school to cover rent. More debt, because I got sick. Junior year my car broke down. The old Honda I'd driven since high school. Needed $800 in repairs. I didn't have $800. Put it on a credit card. 18% interest. More debt. Senior year I tried to cut costs. Moved to a cheaper apartment. For $100 a month. Farther from campus. Ate even cheaper. Lost weight. Lived on rice and beans. Worked more hours at the restaurant. Picked up every shift I could. My grades suffered a little. Hard to maintain a 4.0 when you're working 40 hours a week. But I graduated. 3.7 GPA. Degree in computer science. $58,000 in total student loan debt. $27,500 federal. $30,500 private. My friends from high school, the ones whose parents actually paid for college, graduated debt-free. Started their careers with clean slates. Could save money, invest, build wealth. I started my career $58,000 in the hole. My first job paid $55,000 a year. Sounds good until you break it down. After taxes, $42,000. $3,500 a month. Student loan payment, $650 a month. Rent for a one-bedroom apartment, $1,200. Health insurance, $300. Car payment and insurance, $400. Had to buy a car. The Honda finally died. Food, $400. Utilities, $150. Phone, $60. Gas, $100. Total expenses, $3,260. Leftover, $240 a month. For everything else. Clothes, entertainment, emergencies, saving for retirement. $240. My college roommate, whose parents paid his tuition, was making the same salary. His take-home after loans, $3,500. Mine, $2,850. That $650 difference every month adds up. Over a year, $7,800. Over 10 years of loan payments, $78,000. That's not including interest, or the years of compound growth that money could have earned if invested. The opportunity cost of that stolen college fund is probably over $200,000. $200,000. My parents gave that to Melissa for a wedding that lasted 3 years. I lived frugally, kept living like a college student, cheap apartment, minimal expenses. Focused on paying down the private loans first. Higher interest rates. Made extra payments when I could. Tax refunds, bonuses, all went to loans. By 24, I'd paid off the private loans. $30,500 down. $27,500 to go. By 26, I'm down to $18,000. Making progress. Slowly. But 6 more years of payments. I'll be 32 when I'm finally free. Studied between shifts. Exhausted constantly. My friends went to parties, football games, had the college experience. I worked and studied and tried to minimize my loans. Still graduated with $58,000 in debt. Better than $100,000, but still crushing. Melissa and Trevor seemed happy at first. Posted vacation photos, anniversary celebrations. Then things started to crack. Year 2 of marriage, they were fighting. Visible tension at family dinners. Year 3, Melissa moved back in with our parents. Separated. By year 4, divorced. 3 years. The marriage lasted 3 years. $120,000 of my college fund. For a 3-year marriage. I graduated from college when I was 22. Got a job as a junior developer. $55,000 a year. Sounds good, until you factor in $58,000 in student loans. Monthly payment, $650. For 10 years. That's $7,800 a year, out of $55,000 salary. After taxes, rent, loans, I had maybe $1,000 a month for everything else. Food, transportation, health insurance, life. Couldn't save, couldn't travel, could barely afford to exist. My friends from high school, the ones whose parents actually paid for college, were saving for houses, investing, building wealth. I was treading water, drowning in debt I shouldn't have had. Melissa moved on quickly from Trevor. Started dating someone new within 6 months. The expensive wedding photos sat in storage. The dress, worn once, hung in her closet. $120,000. Wasted. I brought it up once, at a family dinner, year after the divorce. Do you ever think about the wedding? I asked Melissa. Sometimes. Why? Just wondering if you think it was worth it. The cost. She shrugged. It was beautiful. I have good memories. Good memories. That cost $120,000. That destroyed my financial future. The table went silent. Brandon, Dad warned. What? We can't talk about it? Can't acknowledge that my entire college fund paid for a marriage that lasted 3 years. That's not fair, Melissa said. I didn't know the marriage would end. But you knew where the money came from. You knew Mom and Dad took my college fund. They offered to help. I didn't force them. Did you ask where the money was coming from? She looked uncomfortable. They said they had it. They had it because they'd been saving it for 18 years. For me. For my education. I didn't know the details. You didn't want to know. You wanted your dream wedding. And you didn't care what it cost me. Brandon, that's enough, Mom said. Is it? Because I'm $60,000 in debt. Working 2 jobs. Can't afford to save. Can't afford a future. Because you gave my money to Melissa. We've been over this, Dad said. We made a decision. As parents, it's done. It's done for you. I'm living with the consequences every single day. Melissa stood up. I don't have to listen to this. You're being cruel. Cruel? I'm being honest. You got a dream wedding. I got debt. She left. Mom followed her. Dad looked at me. You need to let this go. It's been years. I'll let it go when the loans are paid off. In 8 more years. That was 2 years ago. I'm 26 now. I've worked my way up. Senior developer now. Making $85,000. Better salary. But still struggling. Still paying $650 a month in loans. Still years away from financial freedom. Last month, my parents called. Asked to meet for dinner. I should have known something was up. We sat at a restaurant. Made small talk. Then Dad got to the point. Your mother and I are thinking about retirement. Seriously, this time. That's good. We found a retirement community we love. In Arizona. Near your aunt. Sounds nice. It is. Beautiful. All the amenities. Active community. Good for you. There's just one issue. The buy-in cost. It's significant. My stomach dropped. I knew where this was going. How significant? $200,000 for the condo, plus $2,000 monthly fees. That is significant. Do you have that saved? They looked at each other. We have some savings, maybe $100,000. We need another $100,000 for the buy-in. What about selling your house? We're planning to, but the market's slow, and we want to move soon, before the good units are gone. I waited, knew what was coming. We were hoping you could help, Mom said. Help how? Financially, alone, maybe $30,000 or $40,000, just to help with the buy-in. We'll pay you back when the house sells. I laughed, couldn't help it. You want me to loan you $40,000? Or whatever you can manage. We know you're doing well. Good job. Good salary. I'm $45,000 in student loan debt, making $650 monthly payments. I have maybe $10,000 saved. Total. But you make $85,000 a year. And I've been paying off the loans you caused by stealing my college fund for Melissa's wedding. Silence. That's not fair, Dad said. What's not fair? The truth? You took $120,000 of my college fund. Spent it on a wedding that lasted 3 years. Left me with crushing debt. And now you want me to give you $40,000. It's a loan. We'll pay you back. Like Melissa paid you back for the wedding? That was a gift. My college fund was supposed to be a gift too, to me, for my education. But you stole it. We didn't steal anything. We made a parental decision. You made a choice to prioritize Melissa's party over my future. And now you're asking me to prioritize your retirement over my financial recovery. Mom teared up. We're your parents. We raised you. Doesn't that count for anything? You raised me telling me you were saving for my college. Then you stole that money. What exactly should I be grateful for? We gave you a home, food, love. Basic parental obligations. You're not special for feeding your child. We're asking for help, Dad said. Family helps family. You said that to me 8 years ago, when you took my college fund. Family sacrifices for family. Well, I sacrificed. Now it's your turn to figure it out yourself. You're being selfish. I'm being financially responsible, something you clearly never were. We're your parents. You owe us respect. I respected you, trusted you, believed you when you said you were saving for my future. You betrayed that trust. You don't get to demand respect while asking for money. They tried guilt. We won't be able to retire. We'll have to keep working. Is that what you want? What I wanted was to go to UC Boulder without debt. I didn't get what I wanted. Now you don't get what you want. That's fair. I stood up. When I'm 40 and still paying off loans, I'll think about your retirement. Until then, figure it out yourself. I left, blocked their calls for a while. They went to Melissa. She told the family, painted me as the villain. Brandon refused to help Mom and Dad retire, after everything they've done for him. My aunt called. How can you be so selfish? They're your parents. Did they tell you they stole my college fund for Melissa's wedding? They helped your sister have a beautiful wedding. That's what parents do. With money they promised to me for 18 years. You're holding a grudge. You need to forgive and move on. I stopped answering family calls. Melissa sent a long text. I know you're angry about the wedding, but that was years ago. Mom and Dad need help now. Can't you be the bigger person? I responded, I am being the bigger person. The bigger person doesn't enable people who steal from their children. They retired from enabling when they took my college fund. She hasn't spoken to me since. My parents tried one more time, showed up at my apartment. We need to talk about this, as a family. There's nothing to talk about. You made your choice 8 years ago. I'm making mine now. We made a mistake, Mom said. We see that now. We should have handled the college fund differently. You think. We're asking for forgiveness. And for help. I forgive you for being bad with money and poor planners. But I'm not giving you any. What if we paid you back? For the college fund? You can't. It's gone. Spent on a divorced couple's wedding and your comfortable life. We could pay in installments. I don't want your money. I want you to experience the consequences of your choices, like I've had to. Dad got angry. We're your parents. We gave you life. And then you took my future. We're even. They left. Haven't spoken to me in months. The family gossip mill says I'm heartless, ungrateful, selfish. Let them talk. I'm 26, still paying off loans, still recovering from a decision my parents made when I was 18. But I'm building something, slowly, my own life, my own future, without their interference. I have a girlfriend now, Sarah. She knows the whole story. Your parents really stole your college fund for your sister's wedding? Yep. That's insane. Yep. And now they want you to fund their retirement? That's the ask. What did you tell them? I told them to figure it out themselves. Good. They made their choices. Exactly. I'm not bitter anymore. Not really. I'm just done. Done being the family ATM. Done being guilt. Done being told I owe them. They took my college fund. I took my freedom. Fair trade. My loans will be paid off in 6 more years. I'll be 32. 14 years of payments. For a debt I shouldn't have had. Because my parents valued one day over my future. But I'll survive. I'm surviving. And when they're struggling in their 70s because they can't afford retirement, I'll remember the advice they gave me at 18. Everyone takes out loans. It's normal. Figure it out. Have you ever had money promised to you for years, then watched it get spent on someone else? Have you ever been told family helps family by the people who stole from you? Have you ever been expected to fund the retirement of parents who destroyed your financial future? Share your experience in the comments. Sometimes the best thing you can do for yourself is refuse to enable people who've already taken enough. If you believe you can't steal your child's college fund for another child's wedding, then expect financial help later, hit that like button and subscribe. Because family helps family only works when everyone's actually helping, not just taking. #they stole my college fund.